Hey, what's up? This is, I've never done this before. This is, Jude Floyd here, and how y'all doing? But, I was thinking that I would do, like, a reading of my fan fiction. Sorry about that, it's really windy out. But yeah, I was thinking I would do, like, a reading of my Boku no Pico fan fiction. Yeah, LOL. But, yeah. I have, like, 15 chapters of it. I haven't, like, written any other chapters so far because, that's just because, like, college has been, like, really demanding and stuff. All sorts of stuff to do. And, I mean, I got other things going on in my life. I'm not gonna really, like, get on here, or, like, get into here. But basically, I wrote this fan fiction, like, I started back in July or August, maybe, where, like, it's this Boku no Pico fan fiction, right? And it's telling this story from the perspective as Pico as an adult. And basically, like, it's him, like, looking on his, like, past traumas. Like, it's him talking about, basically what happened in the episodes, only from, like, a different perspective, where it's, like, he's talking about, like, how he's trying to deal with the abuse that he suffered from, like, Mokun, and then, like, how he moved on to, like, Chico, and how they're just, like, suffering from this abuse, and how he's, like, trying to deal with it now. And he's, like, contemplating, like, sharing his story with the world. Like, sharing the story of the abuse, and, like, seeing if, yeah, just, like, seeing, like, where it goes with that, and how he can deal with this trauma. So, yeah, it's him, like, writing in a journal, like, remembering when he was, like, a kid, and, like, when he went through all that stuff. I guess it's really cool. It goes at it from a different perspective. Whereas, like, that's personally, like, what I think is, like, interesting is that, like, Pico, like, suffered this abuse, and, like, it led him to him, like, developing problems later in life, and, like, Tomotsu was, like, never, like, brought to justice for that. He sort of just, like, got away with what he did. But, like, so yeah, like, my fanfiction, it's different than, like, the actual episodes, where, like, it looks at it as, like, a good thing that happened, where, like, I look at it as, like, something bad that happened to him. So, yeah, like, that's what I did. Like, I started this in August, and I wrote, like, 15 chapters, and I never, like, finished it, because of, like, how college is demanding. Like, right now, like, I'm on vacation, but it's only, like, for a week. I don't think it would be, like, long enough for me to, like, brainstorm new things for my story. Well, like, maybe it would, but I thought I'd just do, like, a reading of it. Alright, so, like, that's, like I said, that's enough of, like, me just doing this intro thing. Like, I'm gonna like, try, or, like, I'm gonna try to do the reading right now. So, yeah, it's just, like, it's really awkward, because, like, I've never, like, wanted to be, like, a YouTube personality, and obviously, like, I know, like, I'm not gonna have, like, a lot of followers. I only have, like, 10 subscribers or so, but, yeah, just whatever. Alrighty. Hey, guys, I'm back. Yeah, let's get to this. So this is Pico's story. It's the first part of my fan fiction, which I'm going to provide a link to in the comments. Or not the comments, the description. Or maybe, we'll see. It's been a while since I've seen my friend. I wonder how he's doing. The last time I saw Chico, I was 16 and he was 14. We were both still so young and full of dreams. I still recall the summer vacations we spent together as if they all happened yesterday. As soon as school was out and I had spent at least a week at my grandpa's, I would get on my bike and head straight to Chico's place out in the country. Chico lived with his older sister in his huge country home, surrounded by lots of places to play out in the open. I would spend the rest of my summer vacations there, where we would laugh and play, often losing track of the time we spent together. Near the end of those summer vacations, we would say goodbye and part ways. I would head back to my grandpa's and then take the train home to Tokyo, where I lived with my parents during the school year. Chico and I lived in different cities and went to different schools, so we only saw each other during the summer. We may have only spent 5 summers together, but I felt closer to him than I had ever felt to anyone I'd ever met. Sure, I'd managed to make a few other friends from school throughout the years, but none of them had what Chico and I had, the type of relationship we shared. Looking back on it now, I'm filled with mixed emotions of longing, joy, angst, and regret. Coco was our other friend who would play with us sometimes. Chico and I began seeing him in the summer after we first met. He shared the same relationship that Chico and I had. Coco was somebody we both needed because we really didn't have anyone else who understood us and what we'd been through. I mostly saw Coco when I was with Chico, but I occasionally saw him when I was at home by myself. Chico and I mostly saw Coco for the first 2 years we knew each other, and gradually saw him less and less as we got older. The last time I saw Coco was when I was 16. I had just gotten home from seeing Chico for the first time. Although I haven't actually seen Coco since then, in a way, I still carry him with me to this day. Chico and I both had cell phones by the second summer we knew each other. We had each other's numbers, and we would call and text each other sometimes during the school year. I tried to call Chico several days after the first time we saw each other, but he didn't answer. I've never heard from him since. I don't know why he stopped answering, but I like to think he had a good reason. The reason I haven't seen him since is because he and his sister no longer live in that house in the country. His sister moved in with her boyfriend, and Chico went to live with his aunt in Kyoto. Perhaps he was so busy with adjusting to the move that he didn't really have the time to talk, and we just drifted apart. I still think about Chico and Coco from time to time and the things we used to do together, some of which I'd like to get off my chest, but am too afraid to talk about. I'm no longer that naive little boy who spends hours swimming, playing outside, and getting involved in things he shouldn't have. I'm now a 26-year-old underpaid animator who struggles with persistent feelings of depression and guilt. I'd like to tell my story, but it fills me with shame. I don't know who would want to listen to me, especially since it was partly my fault. I've been replaying every experience over and over again in my head, thinking of every detail. I made the decision that I'm going to write about it and share my story. If I decide not to show it to anyone, at least I'll have finally processed these feelings for my sake. If I do decide to share it, I'd like to show it to a writer and turn it into an anime or manga to share my story with the rest of the world. Maybe that man I met the summer before I met Chico, wherever he is, would finally see the pain he's caused me. Maybe Chico would be able to gain more of an understanding of why I did what I did to him. I keep thinking to myself, who would ever want to watch or read something so disturbing and taboo? My story might have to be written in such a way that would capture a larger audience and pander to a certain group of people. For now, I'm just going to focus on writing down my story and processing my feelings. I remember the summer before I met Chico clearly. The summer I met the man who changed my life forever. His name was Tomotsu, and he was a regular at my grandpa's cafe. I was only 11 at the time, and he was in his mid-20s. I spent a good majority of that summer with him. I viewed him as a friend, convinced he cared about me and that he was someone I could trust. He viewed me as his little pet, a submissive plaything whom he could use to experience his twisted fantasies, and nothing more. He abused me. At the time, I wasn't fully aware of that, but I still felt like something was wrong. However, I've become increasingly aware of the damage he's done since the first time he violated me. I haven't seen him since the summer we met, but I'll never forget him. Alright, that's the end of part 1. I'm not sure how many of these I'll be reading on here, but yep, that's all I have so far. See you next time.